to you today from... And we've got time. The players love him. Thank you, David. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Taking a look at Minnesota. And not a surprise, really, to see them sitting there in that #1 spot in the conference. The excellent brand of basketball they've been putting on display lately has been terrific. And, of course, Portland, 8 games out.
And when you look at Portland, they talked all offseason about how this year was going to be different. Nobody bought into it then, and nobody's buying into it now.
All talk, no walk. Simple as that. They just don't match up with the better teams in the NBA.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Siakam is out there with Otto Porter Jr. Then it's Rodney Hood. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Jackson in at the 1. And for Portland, Myers Leonard is out there with Pirtle. Then there's Elfrid Payton. Then there's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Bogdanović in at the 3, the small forward. So the Portland Trailblazers able to put the first points up on the board. Here's Jackson. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. About this time of the year, we hear early talk about end-of-the-season awards. When you're thinking about who you'd vote for MVP or whatever, Doris, when do you start giving consideration to those topics?
You know what's fascinating, Kevin, is where all the major awards are considered, particularly the MVP. It feels like there's a narrative that develops back when the season starts. The key as a voter, I think, is to sort of eliminate the noise, look at the numbers, consider the success of teams, and make your decision from there. You've got to make sure you're really doing your research.
And sometimes, am I right, it comes down to the final couple days of the regular season before a voter like yourself knows for sure.
Kev, I have cast my MVP ballot on the last possible day in each of the last 3 years.
And here is Payton following the three-pointer by Siakam. With the floater, Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go. Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Hood against Payton. Hood kicks to Jackson. A miss that time would have put him up. Portland's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. It's deflected.
I'll tell you, Siakam has the ability to intimidate offensive players. How about that one? Send it back. Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. The shot, no good. And Minnesota now the other way. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Portland.
Well, these two teams will see plenty of each other, as this is the first of 4 contests between them this year.
And the better they know each other, the more competitive they become. Expect this first one to be extremely spirited, with each side trying desperately to send a message early.
Greg, Elfrid Payton's continued to improve his game, and so far, so good.
Yeah, a marked improvement in long-range percentage. Good size and defensive potential as well. He's knocking down shots. We might have something in Elfrid Payton.
That's good from Payton.
I think Elfrid Payton has exciting potential. He's got unbelievable defensive instincts and work habits. He just needs to develop a little bit more on the offensive end.
Now here's Jackson. 9-point game his last outing. Over Payton. Got a piece of it. And even 3-on-3 break. It's rebounded by Towns. And it's Towns with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Trailing by 2. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
Well, we're talking about a tough individual competitor in Pascal Siakam. He goes right at the defense.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
And the most improved player in the league last season, Pascal Siakam, got better in every statistical category.
Now here's Payton. He's coming off a 10-point game against Orlando. Porter against Bogdanović. And Pirtle gets it to go on the assist from Bogdanović.
Well, Kev, the hand in the face does nothing to distract Jakob Poeltl. How about the size, the strength? It's going to be hard to block this guy's shot.
Here's Jackson. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. Outside, Towns. Passes to Hood. 6 to shoot. From deep. Portland grabs the miss. And it's those diamond-in-the-rough players that so often elevate the top teams. And, Greg, that's what the Raptors found in Pascal Siakam.
No doubt. The 27th pick back in 2016. Now a full-time starter on a rookie contract, just over $2 million this season. He is due for a big raise.
Here's Poeltl following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Gilgeous-Alexander kicks to Bogdanovic. His three-pointers off the mark.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Boy, you look at all the athletes on this team. How about Pascal Siakam? This guy may be the fastest power forward in the NBA. And if you couple that with ball handling, this guy is tremendous in transition.
No good on that one. And the speed and quickness of Siakam, not just an asset in transition. Doris defensively, he is something special.
There is no doubt at 6'9", but he's got a 7'3" wingspan. Siakam's combination of length and mobility, tailor-made for the modern NBA.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance. Well, this has not been a quarter to remember for this guy. He looks completely flustered.
Here's Poeltl. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
It was dealing with the NBA's physical play that was Poeltl's biggest challenge when he came into the league, but he knows how to use his body now to get these calls.
Portland shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
You've got to appreciate their ability to make free throws, 81% as a team.
2 shots.
The free throw drops for Poeltl.
So how cool is it, Kev, that Jakob Poeltl makes NBA history as the first ever Austrian-born player in the league? Doesn't matter what else he does in his career, he'll always have that distinction. That's cool.
Jang, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. That one misses.
Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
Heat fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Guys, I like that strength on display from Elfrid Payton. Sticks with it despite getting bodied up.
This is his 2nd trip to the free throw line. And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
Siakam hits them both.
And I'll tell you guys, the leap that Pascal Siakam has taken has really been fun to watch. From role player to emerging star, and guys, he's not done growing yet.
Now, here's Bogdanovic. Last game he had 13. Back to Payton. Over Siakam. Payton can't get it to go.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
To the inside. Here's Siakam. Portland grabs the miss. Payton's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Covered by Hood. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Bogdanovich. Dishes to Payton. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need him.
Now here's Hood. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Pass to Jackson for three, and he's good on the three ball. Jackson's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Well, you look at guys like Otto Porter, Greg. He just brings so much with his consistent outside jumper.
And guys, he's shot threes at a tremendous clip the last few seasons. I mean, really for his whole career. Sometimes can be a bit passive, so you just make sure he's involved and looking for his shot.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Jakob Poeltl. Barnes comes in for Leonard. Clark, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. And it's Lamb in there for Payton. Basket good.
Just focusing on the task at hand. That's all you can do.
Boy, the tide is running one way and then shifts back in the other direction. I've lost count of how many lead changes we've had here tonight.
And so here's Portland after the basket by Minnesota.
And this is what the coaching staff loves when they watch Clark, wanting to improve his shooting off the catch.
Here's Dotson. Kicks it to Jang. There's the triple. Portland grabs the miss. Last game matched up with the Magic. Tough loss there.
Yeah, I mean, just way too many turnovers in that one. If you can't protect the ball, you can't expect to win.
That's exactly right. Miscues drive a coach crazy. You're giving them more opportunities than you're giving yourself, and that's always problematic.
Now, here's Dedmon. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. And so Siakam will bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
Well, they knew exactly how to approach that defense. They shot a fantastic percentage because they got quality looks.
And here is Gilgeous-Alexander following the three-pointer by Siakam. No good from Lamb.
Well, the defense clearly was not interested in guarding him from downtown. They're very fortunate he missed.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Course, what's the best combination of inside-outside basketball you see offensively now?
Well, two guys really come to mind immediately for me. It's Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, because both men can face up and knock down shots in a legitimate enough fashion that you've got to get out and contest those guys. But the other side of this is they can play in the post and be a legitimate back-to-the-basket force who you've got to guard with more than one guy. I mean, how exciting, Kevin, are Joel and AD to watch play?
They are thrilling. I would agree.
Quick off the floor and powerful. Clark loves to attack that rim.
Barnes against Siakam. And there's the rebound by Dedmon. Trailblazers trail by 3. Here's Lamb, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
You feel like Jeremy Lamb has been in the league forever, mostly known for being a piece in the Harden trade when he left OKC, but Lamb is coming to his own the last few years.
You can tell when he steps to the line the kind of confidence he has in himself. It's written all over his body language.
From deep, Neto gets the three-pointer to fall. And the Timberwolves lead by 4.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
And Jeremy Lamb, you feel like, Greg, he could be kind of a late bloomer.
The improvement he's shown the last few seasons has been huge. Much more comfortable as a scorer, and the defense has picked up for him as well.
Here's Clark. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Here's Dotson. to Lehman. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Trailblazers trail by 6. Lamb passes to Dedmon. Back to Lamb. Here's Clark. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Clark's got 6 points. Timberwolves leading by 4. Siakam outside. He kicks to Jang. Over Dedmon. Dedmon with the block. And here is Harris. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Outside, Lamb. Good. And Harris gets the assist. And it's now only a 1-point Minnesota lead.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. The pass to Siakam. It's Dedmon with the rebound. Dedmon's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Barnes, and the layup's good off the glass. And the Trailblazers lead by 1.
Now, this is about the development of Harrison Barnes' body. You know, physically he's tougher, which usually makes you mentally tougher. And what you admire is that he enjoys putting in the work.
And let's listen to Pascal Siakam talking about the work.
You come in every day, guys in the gym.
And Craig, when everyone is working hard, it builds a chemistry.
And a culture. Kevin, winning teams all have it. It's not enough to be here. You want to win.
And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And from Portland, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
They set a physical tone in the first, and that really showed on the backboard.
I think it's why they hold the lead here early, because they're controlling the flow of the game with those second chance opportunities.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, McDermott is out there with Pascal Siakam. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Dotson in at the 2 spot. Passes it to Towns. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. To the middle. Here's Dotson. Guarded by Harris. Shoots from 14. Dotson gets the bucket. Dotson's got 6.
If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
The steal. Pass to McDermott. And here is Siakam. Back to McDermott. Now, here's Siakam. He had 10 points in the win against Denver.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
For Minnesota, they had put up good numbers at the charity stripe, converting 6 of 7.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Jakob Poeltl's check in for Portland. Payton comes in for Lamb. And then for Minnesota, Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Siakam. Rodney Hood comes in for Damian Dotson. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Raul Neto. And the rejection by Towns. It's a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the reasons Toronto was able to win the NBA championship was the astronomical improvement from Pascal Siakam, who was recognized as the league's most improved player. It was the dream of Pascal's late father that he'd reach this level, and his determination to make that reality has brought him a long way from home. Kevin?
It has indeed, D.A. Great story, and thank you.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
McDermott finds Towns. Jackson in the corner. Softly drops in the floater. Now Now it's a 5-point Timberwolves lead.
Well, instead of forcing it all the way to the cup, he just goes with that little teardrop.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Of course, you and I were just talking about this as more and more players are going public with their trade requests. Do you think that's had a negative impact on the game?
Well, Kevin, I certainly think it makes long-term planning for NBA franchises a lot more difficult because contractually we are not seeing them hold true to the particular organization they may have signed that contract with. The reality is this in today's NBA. You've got to be nimble as an organization, and you have got to be attractive to them. And I mean that with great ownership, great leadership, and who are the players currently in your system. You have got to be incredibly nimble to be successful in today's NBA.
I think you're right on. Payton looking it over. Pass to Bogdanovic. Pirtle dishes to Payton. 6 on the shot clock. Harris passes to Bogdanovic. It's over McDermott. Off the left rim and out.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
It's just been one of those games, and they need to find a way to turn it around before it gets completely away from them.
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Well, if you continue to execute at both ends, you can build on this lead.
Payton passes to Leonard to stop the drought, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
You know, one dilemma that jumps out at me with the Timberwolves, over the years, they have been an excellent offensive rebounding team. It's the other end, the defensive backboards, where they have had some problems.
Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in for the Trailblazers. Pirtle against Towns. And Pirtle sends it back.
Active defense from Jakob Pirtle, that's the key. When he stays active and alert, blocks are going to be there for him.
And the pass to Leonard. Over Porter. Offensive rebound. They shoot again. Leonard, no luck. Timberwolves leading by 10. Hood with it. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Nuggets in Denver. Jackson against Payton. Jackson misses. And Doris, you're right. Over the last 5 seasons, the Timberwolves have been the absolute worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA.
And it's hard to understand, Kevin, because they have created second chance opportunities for themselves only to give it back on the other end. That's the kind of thing that can be demoralizing for your defense. You get a stop, but you don't finish the possession with a rebound. That can wear you out physically and mentally.
Passes it to Payton. Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. Down low, here's Leonard, and it's Leonard with the jam.
Well, what you want to see from Elfrid Payton are floor general skills on full display. Finds the open teammate. Nice.
Hood, the pass to Porter. Back to Hood. Here's Towns, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Pirtle, the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. AT that time from Hood.
Got to credit the defense. They found a way to stop him, and that's never an easy task.
Outside, Towns. Porter in the corner. In the air. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one on Jakob Pirtle.
Well, he's got moves and counter moves inside. Towns makes the defender pick his poison.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Gorgui Dieng comes in for Doug McDermott. And Layman subbed in for Hood.
It's been a really good day for him at the line. Some other bigs have well-documented problems on their free throws. He's not one of them.
Bogdanovich, that's for 2. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Layman kicks to Porter. From the stripe, and the jumper falls for him. Layman's got the lead up to 14 now for the Timberwolves.
Slow rotation there defensively, and he gets a wide open look from mid-range.
And I'll tell you, you look up at the scoreboard, that's correct. They have a big lead for a reason.
Ball's knocked loose. Leonard the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. There it is, his third basket. He's taken 7 shots to get those 3. Timberwolves leading by 12. Outside, Porter. The shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. A different look now for Portland. Wayne Dedman comes in for Pirtle, and Jeremy Lamb subbed in for Payton. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Guarded close. Bogdanovich passes to Dedman. Knocked loose. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Now here's Jackson. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Jackson down low. Leonard's there. And the call on the shot sends him to the line.
And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option, and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Siakam is checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. And Raul Neto subbed in for Porter. Here's Lamb. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That's on Reggie Jackson. And for the last half decade, Reggie Jackson has been good for about 15 points a game.
And that is about the consistency you can expect from Jackson. He's always been a talent. The key for him is just staying on the floor.
And Portland making a change here. Barnes is checked in, and the Timberwolves also making a change. Dotson's checked in for Reggie Jackson. Now, Gilgeous-Alexander. He has 7. Portland no good that time either.
Didn't hesitate for a second to get a hand up on that deep ball.
Well, tremendous effort, tremendous timing, the ability to alter shots on the perimeter. That was beautiful.
And that one is good. 14 points for Siakam.
Excellent anticipation of a teammate's defensive ability. Siakam gets out in transition. Nice.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. As you can see from his numbers, he's been a key component in their offense. He's averaging almost 18 points a game. He gets it in there. Bogdanovich has got 5 points so far.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Whistle blows, but that's going to be a travel. Clark, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. And so here's Portland. 9-point game. Gilgeous-Alexander kicks to Barnes. And Portland again with the bucket.
This is something we've seen from Harrison Barnes since his collegiate days at North Carolina, the capacity to light it up from mid-range.
Siakam against Barnes. And there's the foul. It's on Dwayne Dedman. That's foul number 2 for him.
Well, that's his second foul. Does he take a more cautious approach here the rest of the half?
Here's Siakam. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the basement.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remembered very well.
Incredible.
And so it's Neto with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. They've led by as many as 14 points. Siakam outside. Back to Neto. Clock at 6. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. First one falls for Gary Harris. He's checked in for Gilgeous-Alexander. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Here is Harris. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. 34 seconds left to play here in the half. Shoots from the baseline. Barnes can't get it to go.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And the first one drops. He hits both from the stripe. 19 seconds left in the first half of basketball. And here is Lamb. 8 points his last outing. Puts it up. Good if it goes. And the first half is now in the books.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. It was a closely contested first quarter for Minnesota. Some good action during the period, as it was just a one-point game at the end of one. And that'll do it for our half.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Pascal Siakam, guys, really making a difference here.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
They've got Myers Leonard, Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Payton. Then there's Bojan Bogdanovic, and it's Pirtle in at the center position. So that's who Terry Stotts starts the second half with. Four seconds left.
Well, there's tremendous defensive versatility with Pascal Siakam. He's got reach, he's got length, he's got timing, and he's got quickness. Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Payton. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. To the paint. He's looking for Pirtle and finds him. And the rejection by Town. And that one, good. Timberwolves leading by 9. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Hood sinks that one from the post.
Well, how about the focus of Rodney Hood? The defense has got to feel helpless right now trying to match up with him in the post.
Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to Payton. going to go that time. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
1 for 5 has got to be a frustrating start, and they just don't look sharp right now. Can they find their offensive game?
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Bogdanovich dishes to Payton. Pirtle, the pass to Payton. Siakam against Leonard. Just 5 to shoot. He dishes it to Bogdanovich. And good that time. Bogdanovich has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Jackson against Payton. Pass to Porter. And the officials call him for a 3-second violation. Here's what the Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Monday, they'll be taking on Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors. Then on Thursday, they continue the road trip, heading out to Sacramento to take on the Kings. Payton kicks to Bogdanovich. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Payton's got 4 assists in the game.
Well, Bojan Bogdanovich, simply stated, has become a knockdown three-point shooter.
Now the pass to Towns. And Pirtle sends it back. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Here's Jackson. But he recovers it over Payton.
I love how Bogdanovich gets up and tries to annoy shooters, doing all he can to alter the shot.
It'd be nice if everybody took as much pride in his rebounding as he does.
You know what, Greg, he loves that part of the game, and it shows.
Well, but as defenders keep forgetting to box him out, he continues to just make them pay.
And a quick look here at some of the numbers for him.
The most positive thing about his last 10 games, the work on defense. His mindset has become very aggressive. The steals are up, and he's becoming a big factor on the defensive end.
Here's Leonard. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Well, the hard work on the offensive glass pays off for Jakob Pirtle. Like to see that mindset from the big man. Goes back up strong as soon as he gets his hands on the basketball.
Hood drives in, shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. Hood can't get it to go. Inside, here's Bogdanovich. Nice D from Porter.
Well, that's a case where a guy's trying to make a play, trying to take it up strong, but the defense was ready.
And Siakam throws it down.
Not only is Pascal Siakam elevating his offensive game, he's elevating his efficiency. He is working right now.
And it's Leonard, top of the key. Poked away, stolen by Jackson. Basket counts, and now it's a 10-point Minnesota lead.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 6. Here's Payton. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Well, after netting one in the first half, that's the second deep ball to go down for this guy.
Last season, it seemed like Towns recommitted himself on the defensive end after facing some pretty significant criticism in that department.
You know, he looked like he was playing with a chip on his shoulder defensively. Towns has always had the capability to be a fantastic defender, and I'm really glad that he's focusing on that part of his game as an area to improve.
And they'll keep possession. Leonard against Siakam. Porter in the corner. Over Payton. And that one's good by Porter. Porter's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, this is a knockdown shooter from the mid-range. Otto Porter doing work.
Payton outside. here's Gilgeous-Alexander. 7 points in the game. A fadeaway. Count that one. And the Timberwolves lead has been cut down again to 13 points with the basket from Leonard.
It goes down, but with no defender near him, no need to go to the fadeaway.
Hood deciding where to go with it. Here's Jackson, and again it's Minnesota converting.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
It's Bogdanovich on the wing. Guarded by Porter. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. A different look now for Portland. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Leonard. Clark comes in for Bogdanovich. And Harris subbed in for Elfrid Payton. Minnesota also with the sub. McDermott's checked in. Here's Towns. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And Towns, a player who took a little bit of time adjusting from the college game at Kentucky to the NBA game, especially, Doris, on the defensive end.
I do think you have to appreciate over the last several seasons Karl-Anthony Towns' commitment to becoming a better defender. Listen, he has the length to not only block shots, but to alter shots, and you just want him to have consistent effort on that end.
Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Pirtle.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Towns with the bucket.
Well, this guy has been efficient and effective all night. That IQ has been on display.
Gilgeous-Alexander with it. 7 points in the game. And the foul called on Pascal Siakam. That's his first foul. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Lamb's checked in. Dotson's checked in for Minnesota. Timberwolves leading by 18. Siakam passes to Jackson. Back to Siakam. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And the 3-ball is good. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 10 points.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The 3-pointers just continue to flow.
Jackson finds Towns. Dotson in the corner. Here's the 3. Drills it from outside. 11 points in the game.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling 3-point opportunities.
Outside, Lamb. Barnes outside. Shoots the 3. That one's not going to go. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. And Barnes comes to help. Dotson kicks to Towns. The shot from the low post is good. Towns has got 7 points for the quarter.
So polished, so assertive down low. Karl-Anthony Towns comfortable in this area.
Clark the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Outside, Lamb. There's the dish to Barnes. Takes it off the glass.
Look, Kevin, he's just able to score from anywhere on the floor, but Barnes loves that high percentage area.
Pass to Dotson. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. There's the foul. That's on Jeremy Lamb. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Raul Neto's checked in for Minnesota. Pass to Dotson. A 3-ball. Doesn't go that time. So the Trailblazers will take it the other way. Pass to Harris. Yep, that one goes. And it's Neto with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They led the game at 1 point by 20. Here's Towns. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
The 7th overall pick in 2012 out of North Carolina. Harrison Barnes won a title in Golden State. Signs the big contract with Dallas.
but yet to achieve the stardom that many predicted back in high school.
Lehman, he's checked in for Minnesota. Now here is Harris. Defense right on him. Right side Lamb. Clock at 4. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Siakam.
Still Trailblazers ball.
Here's Lamb. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Lamb's got 9. Greg, you look at Harrison Barnes. What's his best role?
I mean, Kevin, he's a hard worker, able to hit the spot up 3. Defensively, his strength gives him some versatility, just a solid contributor.
And the dunk by Towns.
Boy, pure dominance from Karl Anthony Towns. This guy is a go-to legit scorer with multiple weapons.
1:31 left in the third. No good from Lamb. Minnesota leading by 18. Neto finds Towns. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Good D by Barnes. And there's the pass to Harris. It's good.
Well, this guy is willing to make the extra pass. Barnes is not just a finisher, right? This guy's most efficient when he plays within the structure of the offense.
Passes it to Towns. And that's a foul called on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Raul Neto.
Reggie Jackson.
Minnesota with the ball. 16-point lead. Siakam against Barnes. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Towns. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Towns has got 23 points.
Well, they're calling his number time and time again, and he is delivering.
Gilgeous-Alexander kicks to Barnes. Over Siakam. Barnes can't get it to go. Timberwolves leading by 18. Siakam passes to Jackson. 16 seconds left in the third. And Towns gets it to go.
Well, they're leading in large part because of the work he's put in this quarter. This is nicely done.
Here's Clark. Stolen. It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's at the quarter century. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And with the 4th quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the 4th. Towns is out there with Pascal Siakam. Then it's Porter. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's Hood in at the shooting guard position. Here's Clark, guarded by Porter. Here's Lamb, and he banks in the layup.
And guys, we talk all the time about making the extra pass. Clark there proving how important that concept is.
Jackson passes to Towns. Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they'd have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. The best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you, and you don't need anything else.
That is so well said. Peyton, he's checked in for the Trailblazers.
The big cat climbs up and flushes it home.
Outside Leonard. Kicks to Barnes. Minnesota with the rebound.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
And they should, because it's when you start turning down that kind of look that your offense can start to bog down a bit.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Harris against Jackson. Harris kicks to Leonard. Shot clock at 5. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Towns, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And one thing you have to love about Gary Harris, the way he can explode to the rim.
And Harris is a natural scorer from all parts of the floor, but he can just rocket himself for dunks you aren't used to seeing from players of his size and stature.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Hurdle comes in for Clark, and it's Bogdanovich in for Barnes. Payton passes to Leonard. Dishes to Harris. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. And that's now 7 points for Gary Harris.
You simply must play better defense than that. This guy is too good from distance.
Hood, the pass to Jackson. Of course, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
Outside, Bogdanovich. In the corner, it's Harris. A three-pointer off the mark. Minnesota leading by 23. Porter kicks to Jackson. Lays it up and banks it in. Jackson's got 11 in the second half.
And this is what we've come to expect from this guy, right? Not only making a ton of shots, but being efficient while doing so.
Payton passes to Bogdanovich. Back to Payton. Pass to Bogdanovich. And Portland turns it over again.
Yeah, simply stated, you have to take care of the basketball, and they don't on that possession.
So both teams changing it up here. Minnesota's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13. Here's Dotson. He's covered by Bogdanovich. Dotson kicks to Jackson. 6 to shoot. Pass to Jackson. Lets the three fly. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 26.
And Jackson has become a reliable three-point shooter. That's a shot you got to respect.
There's the pass to Harris. They get a hand on it. Here's Jerome. Passes to Bogdanovich. Harris inside. Knocks down the 10-footer. Harris has got 5 points in the quarter.
You can just see the passion and love with which he plays the game. You see how he prepares, the work ethic, the way he interacts with his teammates. And when he hits the floor, it's all about the game.
He's just stretching them out. The defense has got to do a better job of staying attached to him.
Well, you know this, Greg. This is a guy who's looking for his shot the whole time. You have to know who you're guarding. KYP, know your personnel.
For Minnesota, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Terrific shooting.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Dennis, in 2004, the Charlotte Bobcats became the NBA's 30th team. When do you think we're going to see another team added, whether it's an expansion or even multiple expansions?
Well, let's go directly to the most important source, and that's Commissioner Adam Silver, who has said that expansion is inevitable, but right now not a huge priority. So, you know, listen, we've heard Seattle is on the short list of cities that wants to get a team, and what a great city, what a great NBA fan base. I hope someday we get back to Seattle.
So much history up there. You're correct. We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
Second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
That one goes in.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
Well, major height disadvantage. He recognizes that and still able to score it.
Here's Jerome. Here's Bogdanovich, and the rejection by Chang.
Well, the timing, a very natural aspect of what Gorgui Dieng does on the defensive end. Well, he's been shooting it so well because he's been so active, moving and working to get high percentage shots.
Trailblazers have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Here's Jerome. Now Maker. Down low, pass to Jerome. And it's Finney-Smith with the rebound. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Neto can't get it to go. Portland's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Jerome. Pass to Zizic. From the left block, the shot is good off the backboard. And so it's Neto with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They can look forward to San Francisco after this game and a matchup against Golden State. They're in the midst of a 4-game road trip right now. That'll be game number 3. And here's Chang. Here's Neto. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Doris, when you look at draft eligibility requirements, it is a very fluid topic with a lot of different ways it could go, a lot of moving parts. Where do you stand?
I'll tell you the truth, Kevin. I'm conflicted about this because I believe there is real value to the college experience. There's high-level coaching across the game at the collegiate level, but I also believe that young men who have talent should be able to, when they are eligible, decide when they want to become professionals. So, listen, I'm sort of in the middle. There are legitimate arguments to be had for both sides. What I hope, regardless, is we get the best players in the league, and that's certainly going to happen whenever it happens.
Now here's Jackson. Up top, Chang. But they recover it.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many rebounds offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them today. And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Clearly a foul.
First free throw is good. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Portland. Both shots good from the stripe. Here's Neto. to the paint. Here's Finney-Smith, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. It's on Thon Maker. Of course, you and I were just talking about something Commissioner Silver said the other day about a proposed mid-season tournament. What do you think?
Well, I certainly think if they do move to a midseason tournament, it's going to have real value for it to matter. To get the fans engaged, something has to be on the line. So, number one, you're going to have two goals. Instead of one championship, maybe you want to win that midseason tournament too.
Here's Lamb, and the rejection by Jang. Dotson the pass to Jackson. Back to Dotson. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
That's about reading the floor. Hits his man right where he wanted it.
And that one misses. For Portland, they've gone 6 of 13. So just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Outside, Lamb. Clock at 6. Releases. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Minnesota.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Karl Anthony Towns.
Boy, this guy played with some swagger and intensity on the boards tonight, dominating the physical aspect of the game.
Jackson kicks to Dotson. Now here's Jang, not a lot of room, misses the wing three. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Jerome. Floats one up. Dotson with the rebound. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this.